program. President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad ordering his country's atomic energy agency to boost its uranium enrichment program today. A move that analysts fear could put the country just months away from producing weapons-grade material. Meanwhile, U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates urging other countries to take a stand. Speaking to reporters in Rome, Mr. Gates saying he still believes sanctions can work if the international community comes together to bring pressure on the Iranian government.
In the meantime, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is weighing in on the Obama administration's handling of Iran. Take a listen to this.
I don't know what the outcome would have been if the Iranian government hadn't made the decision it made following the elections to become so repressive. But the fact is, because we engaged, the rest of the world has really begun to see Iran the way we see it.
But in light of the new developments with Iran's nuclear ambition, should the United States follow Israel's lead in taking a tougher stance on Iran? Joining me now is New York Post columnist, Fox News contributor Michael Goodwin. You just got back. How many days were you there?
A short week.
Yeah. And what did you learn, bottom line?
Well, look, Greg, I think that Israel is very, very nervous across the political spectrum in Israel. This is not just the conservative government. This is all across the political spectrum in Israel. Really nervous about Iran. No question there that Iran is intending to get a nuclear weapon, and Israel simply cannot accept it. Israel sees it as an existential threat that merely having the bomb, whether it intends to use it or not, would scare the bejesus out of many Israelis, and in fact that's what they're facing now. So there is a real concern that the United States is not going to do anything about it, and Israel may have to.
Well, and what caught my attention when I read your column, as I always do, you quoted a top Israeli political insider that if international efforts fail to stop Iran from enriching uranium, Israel will be forced to use not only conventional weapons to take out Iran's atomic sites, but tactical nuclear weapons as well. How reliable was that source?
Well, very reliable, very knowledgeable, very well connected. That is the nightmare scenario. That's not something that anyone there hopes will happen or wants to happen. It is simply that Israel will do what it has to. And again, I stress that is the commonality among all the political parties now. There's absolutely, I could find no daylight between left and right on this issue. That Israel cannot accept it if Iran is going to get a nuclear weapon. And don't forget, that used to be the American policy. Now it's not clear. President Obama has spent a year engaging, as Hillary Clinton said in that clip, and yet nothing's happened. Deadlines come and go, and we just keep backpedaling. As you see again, as you said again today, Ahmadinejad has ordered further enrichment. They've been just playing games all along. They obviously have no intention of acceding to international demands, and so it does seem we're on a collision course. The only question is who's going to represent the West. Is it going to be America and the others, or is it going to be Israel alone?
You know, it was just 2 days ago, Iran's foreign minister said, "Oh, we'll do a deal now. It's all just about done. We're going to export to the West our uranium for enrichment, and then it'll come back in isotope form for medical research and peaceful purposes and so forth." And what did it take? 48 hours for Ahmadinejad to say, nah, there ain't a deal, and in fact, we're going to start enriching up to 20%.
That's about the third time that game has been played, and you would think we'd get a little tired of it now, but they keep playing the game, and we're buying it less and less, but they keep buying themselves time. And I should say, too, the other thing, Greg, that's going on there is all kinds of reports coming out of the Mideast that Iran is shipping missiles and ammunitions and people through Hezbollah, to Hamas, into Syria, through Lebanon. So you have all kinds of munitions being transferred back and forth, if any of these reports are true. And so it really is a sense that the war drums are beating throughout the Mideast, and Iran would love to get Israel in a war with somebody else so Iran could sort of not get hit itself. But Michael, I think that's what's going on.
It's clear the newly discovered secret site was configured for making nuclear bomb fuel. The question is, can we stop them? We have targeted them. This is a list of all the UN resolutions, several pages long. 3 rounds of sanctions in addition to the resolutions. It's had no effect. They defy it with impunity. So these new proposed serious sanctions, should they ever be enacted, and it's dubious that China and Russia would ever go along with it, would they have any effect?
My reporting from Israel tells me no, that most Israelis don't believe it will be serious enough, and I think many Americans probably share that essentially what you would have to do to really get the regime's attention and to stop it would be a naval blockade. Yeah. That's the only way you could sort of strangle the country and perhaps even induce a regime overthrow by Iranians themselves, but merely try to target individual members of the Revolutionary Guard, merely try to do one thing or another, leaves too many porous holes. And don't forget, all the European companies that are doing business there, all the Chinese companies doing business there, they're not going to be deterred if we unilaterally just do sanctions. It's not going to be enough.
Well, we've just now positioned our Aegis and other anti-missile defense systems around Iran or nearby, so maybe that's a deterrent effect as well. Michael Goodwin, we'll leave that for another time. Welcome back from Israel, and thanks for being with us.